Hi, this is Kate Northrup, author of Money, A Love Story, and I'm here with Dina Manzo, and she is an entertainment and lifestyle expert. She's been in the media quite a bit on The Real Housewives of New Jersey and her own show, Dina's Party, on HGTV, which is about design entertaining. Mm-hmm. And we're here in Sag Harbor, and we're talking about money love stories. So one of the things is, in our culture, money is such a taboo topic, and as part of the launch of my book, I wanted to make sure that we were having these conversations in public in a conscious, loving way, because money is often talked about in a non-conscious, non-loving way. Yes, but everybody deals with money on a daily basis. So thank you for coming on and sharing your money love story.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So I want to hear first, what did you learn about money growing up? What did you experience? What did you witness?
Well, my upbringing was very interesting. I'm the youngest of 11 children.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and my dad, he was married at 19. My mom was 16, and he had, I think, like $36 in his pocket when they got married. And he became a self-made millionaire. So I grew up in like a 36-room mansion. You know, that's what I thought was normal. My friends would come over, and they were like, "What's going on here?" And I was like, "What's the matter?"
Were you from New Jersey growing up?
Actually, I was born in Brooklyn. We lived in Queens. I was 6, I think, when we moved to Jersey.
Okay.
So that's where, you know, the big mansion was. And I didn't know any different because my parents were so humble, and like my mom never even drove. But I watched my dad work hard his whole life. Like, he was really a hard worker. So I associated working hard with money for most of my young life. So I started working, I think I was like 13, and I had my first job of like clerk checking. And 16, I kind of left school in the work-study program and went to work. And by the time I was 19, I owned my own business with my soon-to-be husband. We opened the salon together.
Okay.
And I always, you know, had that mentality of work, 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 work. Yeah. But growing up, I learned a lot from my older siblings and my mom and dad. And things weren't always the big mansion. And I realized that money was not what made people happy at a very young age. So I'm like so grateful for that lesson because I don't have that relationship with money. Like, I am so cool with money, and it's not something that drives me. I've never been driven by the dollar, ever. I've liked to work hard, but it was more like of a work ethic than for the money. Like, the money was like, ooh, when I got a paycheck, I was like, oh, I got paid for this. That was nice.
So it's about doing good work.
Yeah, and having a passion for what you do. And even when I was, you know, when I finally sold my business and I went into being a makeup artist, I just loved doing it. I loved helping women. I looked at it from that perspective of like, not to just make a paycheck, but just like to do something good. Yeah. And the other thing I learned at a young age, other than money doesn't make you happy, is giving back is like key. And my dad, no matter what, even when we were struggling, and he would always give to St. Jude or like silently put flowers in the pew of a church and just, you know, the altar of church, and just leave it there and not say who it's from. So I watched that growing up. It wasn't something that I was told you're supposed to give back. I learned it by watching him.
Right. There was a big piece of generosity there, and giving back to be in the flow.
Absolutely. And it just comes back to you in so many ways, material-wise and other ways of meeting wonderful people. And that's why I started my own charity. You know, it was something that was just inbred in me growing up. And it also, like you said, it keeps that kind of flow of abundance everywhere. Yeah. So I'm never, and well, trust me, like, even though I believe in abundance and I know I'm always okay with money no matter what, because that's what I believe is enough for everyone. Yeah. There are times, you know, when things are a little tight, but I always save something to give to somebody else.
That's a beautiful practice. And just for you guys, she has a charity for children dealing with cancer called Project Ladybug, and you can find out more at projectladybug.org. So that's not something you just talk about that you do. You actually do it. And something that you said to me before the cameras were rolling is, you know, you do live this life of abundance, but you have been able to kind of identify what's important and what's not. So can you just talk about your relationship with money and knowing that it doesn't buy happiness, but what is it for them?
Well, you know what I do that's funny? I have this kind of practice when I pay my bills at the end of the month. Instead of like dreading it, like, oh, writing the check, I kind of look over. I used to be like, just pay for cash for a lot of things, and now, or separate credit cards, and now I just have my one Amex. And I go over what I did all month. And instead of dwelling on like, oh, I got to pay for this or whatever, I reminisce about like the good times, like the dinner with this person, or like that beautiful Buddha I just bought, and like how peaceful that makes me feel. So I kind of appreciate paying the bill instead of dreading it.
There's actually an exercise to do exactly that in my book, and I love that you're the first person I've ever met who says they do that, and I think that's so awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool practice for sure.
It's a very cool practice because money is for what we value. So I'd love to know from you, what do you value?
Well, I enjoy, obviously what's most important in life, friends, family, relationships. But I also feel like you don't have to feel bad about having beautiful things either. So I enjoy fast cars, so I buy them, and that's okay,
right.
And I say that, I have this thing that I say, and no, by no means nothing bad about Kim Kardashian, but it's about glamour. You don't have to be Kim Kardashian or Gandhi. There is an in between. Yeah. And you could be glamorous and spiritual.
Yeah.
And you can
like
have
you.
400 pairs of shoes like I do, but go put on your shoes and go out and do something wonderful with it. And it's okay.
Yeah. Be giving back while you're wearing your beautiful shoes.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's different than, there was a time in my life where I was filling a void by buying things, and a lot of people I see do that. But now when I purchase something, it's because I enjoy it. And it's pretty, and it makes me, I look at the beautiful vase on the table with the flowers, and I have that moment of, like, how pretty is that?
Right. So you're really appreciating, not just like filling the void and then moving on to the next purchase, like really marinating in that abundance.
Yes, and I don't know. I mean, I believe in past life, and I would definitely live in depression because I am not a waster. I'm a spender. I'm not a waster. So I respect money so much because I've been working for it from such a young age, and I watched my mother. She didn't drive, so we had to make our toys growing up, and you didn't go out and buy Barbie. She got clay and food coloring and water, and we made our own. Yeah. I mean, flour and food coloring water. We made our own clay and macaroni necklaces, and we always had to be creative about what we had, and it was never a waste. Where you see today, like, buy this toy, they use it for 2 minutes, on to the next.
Totally. That's beautiful. You're a spender, not a waster.
Yes.
I've never heard that distinction before. It's really, really great. Because I'm also a spender, and I'm not a waster, but sometimes I can get down on myself for being a spender. So I appreciate that reframe. And for you moving forward, and you've got a lot of fun stuff that you're cooking up, I know, just with media and television and stuff and your organization. So what's the next frontier for you? What's kind of your growth edge when it comes to your relationship with money?
Well, I think, again, never being driven by the dollar and being driven by just helping people and contributing to society. Yeah. I think the money will flow with that. So that's what I want to continue to do, is just inspire. You could either exhaust or inspire, and I choose to inspire people, and then the money will flow with it. And if you're doing something you're passionate about, you're going to be successful.
Nice. I love that. Thank you. I just love your perspective. That's really beautiful.
Thank you.
So if you want to learn more about these kind of conversations, you can go over to moneyalovestory.com and pick up a copy of this book. And when you do, you'll get access to a 2-hour event that I'm teaching called A Course in Having Enough. And I'll have Marianne Williamson on with me, and Barbara Stanny and Amanda Steinberg, founder of dailyworth.com. So that's going to be an awesome event. You can get it for free when you buy the book. And if you'd like to find out more about Dina, you can go to dinamanzo.com, and she writes about lifestyle, a little bit about spirituality, all kinds of fun stuff. So you'll find her there. Thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate it.
This was great.
Thank you.